So if you clicked on this video, you want to learn how to live for free. In today's video, we're going to be covering the pathway on how I was able to achieve that. I'm Bart Mazur, and over the past 10 years, I've been working with young families, teaching them how to overcome their biggest financial challenges so they can crush it financially. So to get this out of the way, this is not financial advice. This is just my personal experience, and I would love to share it with you guys, so maybe it might help somebody. So now the best advice that I ever got financially was out of a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. It was essentially basically saying buy assets and let those assets pay for other things. So here's the story of how we live for free. So when my wife and I met, she already owned her condo. And eventually after getting married, moving in, a few years later, the condo right next door to us went up for sale. And I thought, after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, this would be a great opportunity to get our toes wet in investing. And because of the price at the time when we bought it, the market was really low and there was already a tenant in. We liked her, we knew her. We thought this would be the perfect opportunity to get into our investing adventure. So when we bought that property, after paying the mortgage and taxes and all that stuff, we ended up with about $200 extra a month, which was great because if there's any expenses for repairs or anything like that, it's going to be covered. So we were really happy with that, and it was our first purchase. We loved our tenant that was in there. It was great. If you guys want to see some more videos on our real estate adventures, I'll link a video up above so that way you can see the playlists or the videos up there, and you can enjoy that content. So after getting our feet wet a little bit, we decided to purchase another condo. We liked condos because it was really easy and hands-off with the maintenance, and there's an association, so we didn't have to worry about grass or snow or any of that stuff. So it made it a lot easier for us to kind of get in as new landlords. And this was our first time putting a new tenant into a property. So we used our realtor in order to place that tenant. We ended up with a Section 8 tenant, which is great because they were 100% covered by the state. So we didn't have to worry about our rent there. On average, that property makes us about $400 to $450 because we do pay for the oil. So certain times of the year, the oil usage is a little bit more or less. So before I get to the part where we live for free, just do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. Okay, that's my one plug. Great. Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So now let's talk about how we live for free. So now that we had some experience under our belt, I wanted to move and use my VA loan in order to buy a multi-unit property for us to live in for a few years and eventually move out and rent the other unit. So we bid on a couple properties, eventually came across a great 3-family where in a beautiful neighborhood we were able to move in, and I only buy stuff in neighborhoods that I would personally live in. If I wouldn't feel comfortable, I wouldn't want my tenants to be there either. It's just a philosophy we have. So we found a neighborhood that we liked, that worked for us, and the house was just perfect. The tenants were already in place at the time, and the rents were a little bit low, but we were able to raise those rent and do a refinance after a year. And now we got to the point where our mortgage and taxes and insurance are covered by the top 2 units, and our unit essentially we're living for free now. So when you're looking at properties, you want to make sure that you're going to find something that has the ability to cash flow right away, so that way you're in a great place while you're essentially living for free. Now, we kept the other condo that my wife originally lived in, and between all of the other units, we get about between $400 to $600 a month, give or take, with expenses. We're using that money to cover any repairs or any vacancies that come in. So, we're in a position where we're able to have some money coming in, some cash flow. It's not something we're getting extremely wealthy on at the moment, but over time, we're hoping that these properties will eventually pay themselves off and we'll be able to retire on the cash flow from all the units. So our next step in what we're doing is we're actually starting to look for a single family house just for ourselves, and our goal is to have the rent total from our properties and the unit we move out of cover the new mortgage and taxes on our new property that we're living, so our financial situation doesn't change and we're still living for free. So that was our pathway, that's our story. I hope that helps somebody kind of understand how we did things and maybe gives you guys some ideas Again, this is not financial advice, this is just our story. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.